Thank you so much.
I was just talking, I was on mute myself. So why don't you tell everybody what they just saw, and then let's go from there.
So that was Paul Wan's Viola Sonata. I think that's how you say his name. It's it's actually not a very well known viola sonata, but it's by a Russian composer. And I actually like really love this piece. I fell in love with it like quite a few years ago. It was actually on a CD that a woman by the name of Alicia Nelson, she's a violist in the Cleveland Orchestra. She made a whole CD of little known Russian viola works. And it's really beautiful. I suggest everyone watch it or go listen to it. But this piece in particular, I just felt like was so soulful and it's even more fun to play. So I just wanted to share that with everyone.
I would agree. It was soulful, and I've never heard it before, so it was nice to hear something new.
Mm-hmm.
So I was telling people that you play with the Cleveland Orchestra, and you're at the New World Symphony. So how long have you been at the New World Symphony?
This was the end of my third year. So I actually didn't get to finish out my third year because of COVID-19. So yeah.
Are they you're gonna go back next fall, you think?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what concerts and things will look like next year. But one of the really cool things about New World is that they have a really great infrastructure for technology in
Hmm.
place. And they were actually doing a concert series called Live from Our Living Room through New World. And I'm actually going to play the rest of that piece that I just played. There's two other movements, and we're going to play it all tomorrow night on that concert. Um,
That's
but so
great.
they have, yeah, so it's kind of cool that they have a lot of online options that they can still do during this time. So I'm not sure if live performances will be an option for them in the fall, but at least they can do some of these other types of concerts.
So, I've always wanted to ask a violist, what's it like to be a violist? What's it like to be a musician?
Um, I think it's, I don't know, it's an interesting question.
Yes.
Um, Well, it's funny. I was actually watching one of your other interviews with a dancer, and you guys were talking about like, are you still a dancer if you can't physically dance?
Mm, yes, that was a good one. Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was really thought provoking, and I was thinking as a musician, like, oh, do I feel the same way? I think especially during this time when we can't perform live, or a lot of our concerts have been canceled. But I think what's really great about music is that you can play music with as little as one person, you
Yes.
know, and part of what I love about music is just the way I feel when I play it. So I think, as much as it was really disappointing that everything was canceled, I've been actually finding a lot of fun things to do during this quarantine, especially now that a lot of more stressful things like auditioning or, more stressful concerts or something like that are gone. It's I've just been thinking like, wow, this is when you see people doing things now, it's really because they want to be doing whatever they're doing.
It's true.
It's not because they have to for work or whatever. So I think I've been really inspired seeing my colleagues and just people throughout the world, like how they're making art during this time because it's what they really want to be doing and what they really enjoy.
Jessica, I think you just said it right. We are doing what we really love to do. Of course, we want to be on a bigger stage. We love the audience. But if we're really sitting back into our place and we're just looking at the scenario and we are doing what we want to do.
Mhm.
So, how long have you been training as a violist? How long have you been playing?
Ooh, over a decade. So I started when I was in third grade, And for all the people from Akron that are listening, I actually started because my mom wanted us, me and my two older sisters, we all went to Miller South School for the Performing Arts.
Yes.
And before that time, I didn't really have a talent. So she had to choose something for me. And my two older sisters, one played piano and violin, and then my other sister did drama and cello. So my mom, actually, she plays violin and piano, so she thought I would round out the group with being a violist. And so, but I was the only one who really stuck with it through anything. My sisters quit when, after they left Miller South. But so then I went to, I started taking lessons at the Cleveland Institute of Music when I was in 7th grade, or at the end of 6th grade.
It's a great school. It's a great school.
Yeah, it's one of the top music schools in the country. And I was really lucky that, you know, we live close enough in Akron to drive there every day. There are a lot of kids that, you know, move to Cleveland to go study there in high school and stuff. My mom's amazing, and she would drive me to Cleveland every single day when I was in high school to be in the Young Artist program there. And I'm just so grateful for that because it really shaped what musician I came to be. And Cleveland's just like my home.
Yes.
But yeah, but now I'm down in Miami, and that's where life has taken me.
So I know you have another piece that you're going to play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before we get there, you know, over the years, we've had discussions about auditioning,
Mm-hmm.
what it's like to audition. You know, a dancer goes to the cattle call, there might be 300 people in there, and they'll go down the bar and they'll look at you, say goodbye, that kind of thing. That's how our audition process is.
Mm-hmm.
And you get, there's a psychological component of auditioning. I was personally never very good at it.
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much failed at every one of my auditions. What's your process of auditioning, and where are you at in the regards of how you feel about auditioning?
I think so. CIM is really based, or they have a very orchestral audition foundation. They really, and that's where I did all my schooling. And so they really teach you the basics of what you need to do to be successful at an audition. My teacher in particular was Robert Vernon, and he was principal at the Cleveland Orchestra, and he has students that have been in basically every single big orchestra has his students. So he's like really the guru of those auditions. And so I learned a lot of just the basic rules of how to play professionally. And I learned a lot playing, like subbing with the Cleveland Orchestra in my time there, how to be professional and to blend in. And then I came down to New World, and they have a lot of great resources about auditioning. They do a lot of mock auditions where you're basically trying things out and getting feedback about it, because so as opposed to a ballet audition where you're face to face, for an orchestra audition, you're on the stage of the orchestra, which is a huge stage because it's enough for a whole orchestra, but it's just you playing. So they're either on stage with you or out in the audience, but the first 2 rounds, and sometimes even the 3rd round, is blind. So that means that there's actually a screen in front of the people listening. So it's quite a big screen, and so they can't actually see who you are, and they don't have your resume. And it's supposed to promote being unbiased during the process. But it's kind of psychologically different, you know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're so used to playing for people and getting our, you know, playing to someone. And so I think it was really great at New World because we do so many mock auditions where we have the screen in our big orchestra hall, and you kind of get more comfortable performing that way. So I think I've really grown to not think of it as an execution act and to really think of it as a performance. And I think my time at in school and here have really helped me to get better at that.
I think the key word is is like a performance, or it's like a performance, and that would probably for dancing same way. So you're in a performance right now, because I think as a dancer we have to show confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Probably have to play, I'm assuming you have to show the confidence in the piece that you're playing
Mm-hmm.
behind that screen, correct?
Yeah, I think that's something that, I think it's so easy to get into thinking, oh, I didn't advance or whatever because I did little things wrong. But I really learned from my time working with different coaches and things that it's usually like an overall impression. And you just want to feel poised and confident and really give that off and make the audience feel comfortable. And the more that I've been more successful doing it, feeling like that way. So,
Nice. So what are you going to play?
I'm going to play the prelude to the third Bach cello suite.
Well, I think that we're ready to hear you. We're
Okay.
ready to hear what you have to say. Yes. Good job. Really nice.
Mm.
Really nice, Jessica. So beautiful. Such a talent. You know, I was kind of like listening to it. I was thinking of choreography. And I was like, okay, all right. It's just so like you just want to just dance to it. And so, Jessica, I had a conversation with a good friend of mine today about being an artist in this time period. And, I'll be honest, it has been like this really interesting high and then really low. Both of them really. And finding that happy medium has been difficult. Do you share that same sensation? What's going on in your world as an artist?
Yeah, it kind of, it again makes me think of what we were talking about with, are you an artist if you're not playing? And there was a period of time during quarantine where I'm just really clumsy and I have a tendency to when I'm cooking and stuff like that to hurt myself, which is really bad. But I cut myself on a jar of salsa and I got myself right in the thumb area and I couldn't play for a while. And it really surprised me how much if I can't play, I just kind of lose sense of self. And I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh, who am I? What is my purpose? Because, that's all that's how I kind of revolve my life around my playing. And especially during the season when we're performing and rehearsing all the time, that's how you organize your life. And so I think, it's been great to have little performances during this time that you can look forward to and kind of wrap your head around, okay, this is how my life is structured right now. And so I've been trying to give myself enough things to do that I feel structured, but when you don't have anything, it's kind of like, whoa, what am I doing?
It's so true. And even this project right here, just getting together today, made me think about something today. It made me excited. Do you know what I mean? And I hope that when people watch these, it's very just down to the bones conversation. And I think it's important. Art is so important in our lives right now. And getting back to that conversation you mentioned about the dancer, you're a professional musician. Jessica, you are a professional musician.
No.
We can't let this type of scenario change who we are, what we are. And we just got to remind ourselves of that.
I think the more I am things will, and maybe there is a new normal too, maybe a lot of what we do is smaller groups, maybe it's, we're so at least for musicians, we're so used to everything being a huge orchestra, but maybe they feel more comfortable doing smaller chamber ensembles or, solo pieces. And I think it's good to remind ourselves that we can do a lot of different kinds of things. We're not just, we're all individual musicians too, that are all talented and have something that we can give to people. So.
Well, before we leave though, we have some, you are engaged right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. He is also a musician. Okay. Have you guys played together before?
Yeah, we have. Actually, one of my favorite memories of playing with him was we got to play at our college graduation together. So that was really a highlight. And our teacher was the commencement speaker, the honorary doctorate. So that was really special to play with him and for all of that. Yeah, hopefully he's having some, he's just getting some chiropractor work done, but hopefully he'll be up to playing and I'm sure we'll play together soon.
Well, I can't thank you enough for doing this for us. And you have a lot to say, and you're a beautiful musician and a beautiful person too. I know your family, you're a beautiful family also. So I appreciate you sharing who you are and then sharing and who you are as a violist and as a person. So thank you very much.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll keep in touch. I can't wait to see you at one of our virtual performances. So because definitely part of that, part of what I see that being part of my virtual performances because you're so good. So I appreciate you sharing that too.
Thanks. Yeah, this is really a highlight of quarantine for me. So
Yes, this is the highlight. Yes. Connecting with people. And, you know, and to finish this off, we haven't really connected like this before in the past, right? Knowing that I know your mom really well, and knowing that we're both artists and that we've come together is something that I treasure quite a bit.
Yeah, it's crazy how you connect with people that you don't think, you know, your family from far away who you haven't talked to, and then they see you on one of these things, and you know, so yeah, it can be a special time too. So
Thank you, Jessica, very, very much. I
bye.
appreciate it, and have a good evening, okay?
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.